starting quarterback for an NFL team. When you're great, you're loved and you can't buy a meal. When you're average, you'll hear boos and you'll hear chants for the backup. It's a tough life, but it can be a very good one. Kordell Stewart lived that life. He's been a starting quarterback trying to fight off the backups. He's been a backup trying to become a starter. He joins us in studio now to talk about training camp battles for the most glamorous position in all sports. And I also just found out his hat is still in the ring. You have not officially retired. Yep. So if NFL coaches are listening, give him a ring. He would still love to play that position. Yeah. I want to start, Kordell, by asking you the difference from your standpoint when you are the quarterback and you know you're the starting quarterback compared to when you're in a battle. What is the difference between the two for you?
Well, when you know you're the starter, you're calm, you're relaxed. You really don't have to look over your shoulders and worry about too much. So you can actually go out and just perform the way they expect you to perform. And plus the coaches are setting up the practices and the game plans for you to actually go out and perform well. Now, when you are competing for the starting job, then that's when the level of intensity steps up a little bit. Practices every day are going to be real strong. And you want to be supportive, but you only have to worry about your job. And
when were you better? When were you better in your mind?
I was better when he sat me on the bench, honestly.
Really?
Because I got pretty frustrated, and I didn't like going to the bench because, you know, I'm like, you live with me or you die with me, so to speak. That was always my mentality. So I worked harder, and probably was a touch bit more focused, I would say, because I didn't like sitting on the bench because I didn't think I was a backup to anybody. I just felt like my talents and everything that I've done has gotten me far and to that point, to the point where, you know, I figure, you know, a little arrogance set in. I figure I should be the starter all the time.
All right, and most successful quarterbacks have that little chip of arrogance on their shoulder. What is the, and take us inside here. We really want to be inside this. You're on this side of the camera right now. Yeah. What is the relationship really like between starter and backup or two competitors for the job?
It really depends on if I'm the starter and I have a backup. For example, Tommy Maddox.
Yeah.
I'll give you a prime example. He was a great guy. You know, he was all supportive. He was willing to come in and help me out any way possible when times was tough. He never really said, but he was one of the good guys. Even Mike Tomczak. It's hard, but at the same time, you have no choice but to support the starting guy.
Were you that way when you were a backup?
Well, based on how I was a backup, it wasn't a thing of me going into the season. It was just me going to the bench. So me knowing how it was and truly understood what was taking place, I was very supportive of Ken Graham, Tommy Maddox, and Mike Tomczak. So it wasn't an issue of me, you know, having low self-esteem and being concerned about those guys playing and not ever getting a chance to play. It was more of a thing of me saying, hey, you know, I know what it's like, I understand it, I'm going to be supportive of you because I would want you to be the same.
All right, now be honest here, and this might be tough for you to do because the right answer might not be the right answer. When you're watching your backup perform, are you ever secretly wishing that he throws an interception, play poorly so I could get back out on the field?
Of course, Jay. Of course. No, I don't think so. It's a thing of you hope if he is the starter and he is playing, that he does well. Because if not, you know you're going to get your chance. Most importantly, it's all about being prepared. But if you don't win, we all lose. So it's kind of a double-edged sword for some people. You know, some guys kind of wish it because, you know, they kind of feel like they've been shanked and they've been kind of ran through the rigmarole in the sense of not getting a true chance. But overall, for myself, I've always been very supportive, and I think most guys are that way.
All right, now we're asking these questions because there are a lot of teams right now going into camp, and they're not sure who their starting quarterback's going to be. We're going to get to those in a second. But what is it like for the team when you break camp and you still don't know who the starting quarterback is?
Well, I think it doesn't bring too much confidence to the team as a whole because now they're trying to figure out who my guy's going to be, how we're going to best approach this situation. They have a mentality as far as how their rhythm is too as well. Defensive coordinators, DBs, I mean, everybody's emotionally involved in the situation. So I think once you can commit to one guy and give him a chance to go out and make the mistakes and do the things, we can ride or die with this individual. So, you know, when you kind of up in the area where we're going to have the two-headed monster, you know, it kind of puts the team I think, in an uncertain situation.
All right, let's run down some of these situations. We'll start with the Miami Dolphins. They have Josh McCown, they have John Beck, they have Chad Henne. Who is the starter there in your mind?
McCown being the most veteranized guy of all of them. Him being in Arizona and all of a sudden in Oakland, I think being 12-19, his record and his statistics overall allows you to want to give him a better chance, I would say.
Just because he's been there and done that.
Just been there, done that, the experience, and pretty much kind of let it be his job to lose, but yet still give the other guys the opportunity to go and play with the first team just to see, just to find out.
All right.
So if the day does come, you give him a chance.
San Francisco, Alex Smith, seemingly the face of the franchise for the future, but Sean Hill has played well when he's been in there. Who do you like?
He hasn't played that much, though. I think he may have had one season of some action.
Right.
He played well when he did, so I don't think you really have too much character with that position with him.
Right.
I think you give Alex Smith another chance.
Yeah.
He had a shoulder injury. He got it prepared.
Yep.
He and Coach Mike got an opportunity to talk about their fallout a little bit, and I think now is an opportunity really just to let him go play. Don't get caught up into I don't know if he's strong enough or he's faking the injury or whatever. Let the guy play. Let him do what he do. That's why you draft him. Let him go.
All right. I will not accept Brett Favre as an answer to this question. Who's the starting quarterback for the Jets, Pennington or Clemens?
Another same situation.
Yeah.
Let Pennington go in and play because his numbers speak for themselves. He's probably everywhere of about 89% passer rating. I mean, his winning percentages are very well. He's 32 and 29 as a starter, 66% passing percentage, and 82 and 55 touchdown interception ratio.
Right.
So his numbers are good. He just needs to not get injured and go out with the fire like he had last season and just play well.
All right. Chicago might be the biggest dilemma of all. Kyle Orton is there. Rex Grossman is there. Who's your starter?
I had a chance to be in Chicago for a year with Rex.
Right.
Rex has a very strong arm.
Yeah.
He sometimes have the Brett Favre syndrome where because his arm is so strong, he try to squeeze those throws in there.
Right.
And sometimes, one bad throw to another bad throw to another bad throw to bad decisions causes him to get in trouble. So Orton had the opportunity to play one time, and he played very, very well. So I would let that be a battle. I would give Rex one more chance to go and prove himself, but if they start Kyle Orton, that wouldn't be a bad situation either because he won when he was in there.
All right. It literally has come down to a flip of the coin to see who worked with the first team throughout camp. All right, Kordell Stewart, thank you very much. John Gruden, who collects quarterbacks, he's on line 3 for you.
Cool.
All right, Kordell, thank you very much. And Kordell talked about the Niners. He thinks that Alex Smith should get one more chance. Now to take a look at the 49ers, here's Sage.
Jay, they've had 5 straight losing seasons. That's a team record.